Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Damien's Midweek Markets, the show where I talk about what is driving investment markets right now and what to look out for in the week ahead. Now, where we are at the moment, we're kind of in a holding pattern. We're at the point where markets are almost treading water. So let's focus on the big story in the last week, which was Brexit. Now, Brexit, we're at a point where we're looking like we're going to have another delay. The October the 31st deadline is looking, as I make this video, like it might come and go, and we might go past that. We might not be able to actually meet Boris Johnson's deadline. Now, the action in currency markets has had a huge impact on UK investors' portfolios. It doesn't almost matter what's been going on with the assets themselves. If you hold overseas funds, then they will be impacted by the rally in the pound. You will see the value plummet. And there have been people who've been sitting there looking at their portfolios, wondering why they're sitting on losses when equity markets have been pretty good in the last week or so. Now, if you look at markets more widely, the S&P 500 is again kind of treading water from last week when I made the last video at 3,000. The FTSE 100 is around about 7,250, and if you look at the 10-year US Treasury yield, that's about 1.77. So bond markets and equity markets on a sort of pure price level on their local currencies sort of standing still. But because of that currency move, the volatility in the pound, people are seeing their portfolios go all over the place. Now, as I make this video, the volatility in the pound has settled. We've pulled back slightly from $1.30 on the pound to about $1.28, and we've had a period, like I said, a calm almost before the storm as we're trying to work out what's going to happen next with Brexit. Now, one of the big things that we've got in the next week is, of course, those Brexit deadlines, what will happen next. But we've also got a decision by the US Federal Reserve coming, whether they're going to cut interest rates as the market expects. Now, of course, earnings season is really starting to hot up. This week alone, we've got 132 companies within the S&P 500 releasing their earnings updates. And we've got some quite key companies releasing their numbers. So we've already had the likes of McDonald's release their figures. And now McDonald's is a bit of a bellwether for the US consumer. And they actually missed expectations from analysts. And we had UPS, the logistics company, they also missed analysts' expectations. So it started to paint a slightly dreary picture about potentially where the US economy is heading. Now, today we've got Boeing and Caterpillar announcing their results. And now these are two companies that have been impacted by the US-China trade war. And in particular, their results will give an indication about the potential impact that the trade war is going to have or has been having on the US economy. And of course, later on today, we've also got Microsoft, one of the tech giants, releasing their results. So the tech companies, some people have been touting that they're going to struggle this earnings season. So tech companies have largely led the rally over the last few years in US equities. So we would want to see them performing well out of this earnings season if the bull market is going to regain its legs and push further forward to potentially new all-time highs. And next week, we've also got Apple and we've also got Facebook releasing their earnings. And as the adage often goes, so goes Apple, so goes the stock market. So a lot is in play when the tech earnings come out in the next week. And of course, as I've already mentioned, that leads us all very nicely into the end of the month where we have the US Federal Reserve interest rate decision. And of course, we have the ongoing Brexit saga. So while markets and currencies have taken a bit of a respite in the last day or so, a bit of calm, there does look to be the potential for some stormy weather ahead. So that is it for this week on Damien's Midweek Markets. You can contact me in the usual ways. Damien@moneytothemasses.com is the email. On Twitter, Money to the Masses with the number 2, Instagram, and of course in our new Facebook group, which you can find by going to facebook.com/groups/Money to the Masses. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.